Hello everyone. My name is Alisa and I'm 21-year-old Moldovan student at ELTE University. My major is international relations, and I'm studying here for the bachelor degree. And it's my second year in the Budapest. So today I would like to share my experience with you. I will talk about Stipendium Hungarian program, and I will talk about my application process and how I found ELTE University. Then I will move to my study experience. So I will talk about student activities. So for freshmen, I will describe my study program and talk about professors. Moving forward, I will talk about student life in Budapest and traveling in Hungary. After that, we will take a look at the accommodation options available, insurances, as well as other important documents. And I will conclude with the recommendations. So in my head, I have always had an idea of studying abroad after graduating from high school. And in my last year, I was invited to attend a meeting organized by the Hungarian embassy in Moldova, where I found out about Stipendium Hungarian program. So Stipendium Hungarian is an amazing opportunity offered by Hungarian government to non-EU citizens. The program covers tuition fees and it provides a monthly stipend and a free dormitory place. So if there are not enough places for the student to get into the dormitory, there are always options to rent an apartment or a room, for example. Stipendium Hungarian provides 40,000 forints, yes. It's around 110 euros to cover the accommodation costs. And besides that, the insurance costs are covered, which is Thai card, a public insurance, and the Unica, which is a private insurance. So application process for Stipendium Hungarian starts around November, December, and the deadline for submitting applications is usually 15th or 16th of January, depends on each year. Students come from different countries, and there's also a need to submit the application for the sending partner. You will always need to ask about these details because it always depends on your home country. In the first stage, these documents must be submitted. The application form, medical documents, grades from the last 2 years of high school if you're applying for the bachelor degree, or bachelor diploma if you're applying for the master degree, or a master diploma if you're applying for the doctoral school. English language certificate can be submitted later. Usually the deadline is early August. In February, all the documents are checked by the Tempus Public Foundation, and the sending partner of your home country selects the nominees, and only those applicants who are nominated by their home country are going to be sent to the universities. In the middle March, end of May, the applicant goes through the selection process organized by the university. Usually in April, May, the university notifies applicants about their decisions, and in late June, the decision comes from the public foundation, Tempus Public Foundation, on whether the grant has been offered. When I was applying for the Stipendium Hungarian website, I faced the decision of choosing the university. Of course, the first thing you do is you Google the best Hungarian universities, and you will find ELTE among the best ones. The university is quite old. It was founded in 1635 and has 5 Nobel Laureate Prize winners. What fascinated me the most is that there are a lot of international students, which is perfect for my specialization, which is international relations, and it creates a truly multicultural environment. When you choose the university, it is also quite important to check the curriculum and pay attention on what exactly you will study. And the website actually offers a wide range of classes, so it covers everything. And if you check it, then you will see exactly what the program covers. So I was attracted by the program because it is worldwide oriented and it offers courses that touch all of the aspects of international relations. And another quite important moment is that our course is mixed with Hungarian students. So this provides a chance to get acquainted with Hungarian culture and language. To elaborate more on my studies, I would like to tell you whether ELTE has met my expectations. The first week before the study period and before the courses start is called the registration week. This is when the orientation week is organized for international students. I would highly recommend to take part in this, at least attend the first day. What we had at my department, we had a gathering at the Diak Square, which is the main square, the city center, and we had some icebreakers and had a chance to just sit in the park and chat with each other. And afterwards, there was a chance to attend and organized by ESN ELTE Erasmus Welcoming Party, where you could meet not only international students from your faculty, but also Erasmus students and international students from the whole university. Why is this important? Because people you meet during that week most likely will become your closest friends till the end of your studies. And when it comes to studies, my program, as I have mentioned earlier, covers the domains of politics, law, economics, European studies, human rights, security studies, and offers wide range of electives. So there is a chance to take classes from different faculties. For example, in my first year, I took an elective from the Faculty of Law, which was European private law. And range and in the second part of your studies, there are regional seminars, which are really, really interesting because you get a chance to practically implement the knowledge that you have gained during the first and second years. During these seminars, students discuss current world issues and also do researches covering all of the aspects of world politics and law. Professors at the faculty are highly competent and always welcome different views. Everyone's opinion is taken into account and respected, and we're encouraged to think outside of the box. This semester, due to the online education, we got an amazing opportunity to have lectures and seminars of the professors who are currently residing or teaching abroad. For example, we had professors from England and from Germany. For example, I had a security seminar with a professor from the German Marshall Fund Center, which was quite interesting. Moving forward, I would like to tell you about student life in Budapest. I haven't met a single student that didn't fall in love with this town. Even during the pandemic, it offers a wide range of activities. Why is it perfect for students? The architecture is incredibly fascinating. So it doesn't matter how much time you spend here, there will always be a nice place to visit where you can go for a walk or just chill in the park with friends or go for a hike. Budapest has all kinds of bars and cafes, and now as the terraces are open, some of them, such as ruin bars, welcome wide range of international and foreign students, or also before the pandemic, there were a lot of tourists in this kind of bars. The pictures on the slides were taken before the pandemic, so we're not wearing masks, but life here is still vivid, and a lot of activities became available now as more people are getting vaccinated and more of the venues are being opened. As during the pandemic, we didn't really get a chance to travel outside of Hungary. My friends and I decided to explore the country, which has a lot of small, beautiful towns in different parts of the state. The closest place to Budapest is a town called Szentendre, which you can see in the picture on the left, and it is quite old and has some nice places where you can try real Hungarian cuisine. Other places that I have visited were Esztergom, town on the border with Slovakia, picture on the in the lower right corner, and a cute little town called Zebegény, where Hungarians usually have weekend houses. Only outside of Budapest, you can explore Hungarian nature, so I would definitely recommend going for a hike, cycling across the Danube, or visiting small towns while you're in Hungary. Another reason to choose ELTE in Budapest for your studies is that it has affordable accommodation. There are a lot of dormitories which offer places for international students, and for Stipendium Hungaricum, it is covered by the scholarship. If you choose to rent a room or an apartment, the prices here are significantly lower than in other EU capitals. And there are a lot of websites or Facebook groups where you can find accommodation. And in some cases, you can even find flatmates. I have included in the slide the average prices of renting a room or an apartment. Also, as a first-year student, I have experience living in an ELTE dormitory for a semester. The dormitory looked old from the first sight, but the floors were renovated and the rooms as well. Every floor is being cleaned every other day, and the rooms are cleaned once a week. There were mixed floors for international students and Hungarians with 3 people in one room, and shared bathrooms and kitchens on each floor. But of course, it all depends on the dormitory which you stay in. So I have attached the link where you can read about all of the ELTE dormitories. And also, if you want to look for an apartment, you can also ask for the assistance of the university's housing office. And usually, if you apply for the website for the dormitory, you get a chance to both apply for the dormitory and apply for the housing. So it's like, it's a very good opportunity. When you arrive in Budapest, it is quite important to make all necessary documents at first hand. So apply as soon as possible for the public insurance, which is Thai card, because it takes from 3 to 6 months to make it. And it's the most important document if you want to find a job here, or if you have health issues related to coronavirus, or if you want to get vaccinated. There is also a chance to get a private insurance. And I would also highly recommend this one because it is relevant if you need a special care. Besides those documents, for Stipendium Hungaricum students, it is important to make a tax card because otherwise you won't receive your scholarship, and this should be done at first hand as well. Regarding the visa application and residence permit, there are two options for non-European Economic Area students. So first one is if you come from a visa waiver country, you do not need to get a visa. You can only apply for the residence permit after you arrive in Hungary. Or if you come from the country where you need a visa to enter Hungary, you should apply for the D-type visa. And the application process for the residence permit starts when you apply for the visa. So when you come into Hungary, you just pick up your residence permit at, usually it is the Faculty of Humanities, and it happens in mid-October. And I have attached the link of summary of all issues you need to think before you arrive in Budapest. As a conclusion, I would like to sum up what we have covered by giving some basic recommendations. So again, when you apply for the program, apply all the relevant documents. And if you're not able to submit them on time, especially for Stipendium Hungaricum students, make sure that you upload the declaration that the document will be available before the deadline, so usually before August. Then, first thing you need to do when you arrive in Budapest, you have to register in the country, apply for the tax card, die card, and the residence permit, and of course, tax card for Stipendium Hungaricum. You have to enroll in the university, register for the semester and for the courses, and this also needs to be done at first hand because for some of the courses, there are a limited number of students, and if you want to get into a preferable elective course, you should do it as soon as possible. Then I would highly recommend to sign up for Hungarian language course if you're not a Stipendium Hungaricum student, because for Stipendium Hungaricum, the first 2 years, it is obligatory to study Hungarian. But the basic knowledge of Hungarian will be very useful to anyone. And I can say it from my own experience because I have only started to learn it this semester. And I think it would have been a good decision to start it from the very beginning of my studies because it is quite important here. And then during the studies, I would advise you to pay attention at the professor's requirements because this will help you during the exam period. And last but not least, attend as many events as you can. And ESN ELTE is organizing a variety of different gatherings where you can meet people from outside of your course, and of course, many exchange students, international students, and as well as Hungarians. And be careful because you will fall in love with Budapest. I hope you found this presentation useful, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the social media, or you can find my email at the International Student Ambassador page on the ELTE website. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alisa. I still have a couple of questions now that I was listening to you. You mentioned that when you arrived in Hungary, then you arrived before the registration week, so you participated in the orientation week as well, and that you have classes with Hungarian students. I'm very curious, like when you arrived, was it easy to find your way or to get along in Budapest and at the university, or how did you manage, especially that you didn't speak the language?
Yes, thank you. So it was not that hard in the beginning because there are a lot of international students. And when I came to the orientation week, actually, this was when I met all of my friends. So we were not alone. The most important thing to remember is that when students are coming here, yes, they're coming alone and we're all, let's say, in the same boat. So we're all freshmen, we're all international students, and there is no way you won't find friends. And it's easier to get along in the town and in the university if you're communicating with the students from your faculty. And Hungarian students are really open-minded in my at my department, especially because of course we all study international relations. So even we had Hungarian students in our only international events. They were just coming because they wanted to get to know us and we wanted to get to know them. And they were helping us with the language mainly in the very beginning. And then some of us actually started to learn it.
Did you have a culture shock when you arrived? Was there something that really was so strange and different from your home country that you really needed some time to get used to it?
I think the language was the only
Yeah.
strangest thing that I faced here because I'm coming from Moldova, so our countries are quite similar. It's all Central Eastern Europe, and then the culture is of course different, but it's not that much different.
Mhm.
And especially regarding the food, I really like Hungarian food, and I even learned to cook it like by the time I'm here. But some of the main things that we have in our cultures that are similar with Hungarian, for example, like the sour cream, something like that. This is what you won't find in Western Europe, but you can find it here.
Yeah. Okay, so it went relatively smooth for you, as I
Yes.
understand. Mhm. You also mentioned a couple of times that you are together with Hungarian students in class. We really need to add that that's not that typical. It depends on the degree program. If international students are together with Hungarian students, or they have separate classes. Mm, but it seems to me that you have a good experience with that, right?
Yes. Yes. So Hungarian students, as I said, are very open-minded in my faculty, and I couldn't say that I can feel the difference between us. So usually we're all like international students, and we share the same experience, and they have been very helpful for me personally
Mhm.
in some parts when I have had difficulties with the language, for example. They were always offering help, or we have been even creating this year we created a debate club at my faculty with students from my class, and we had all of the different students and especially the Hungarian ones. So
Mhm. Can you please say a few more sentences about this debate club?
yes, so we were very worried that we have spent most of our time studying online, that we didn't
Yeah.
really have time to speak and actually communicate with each other. So some of my friends decided to create this debate club, and we actually ran it on formal in a formal way, and we're planning to make it official next year, as hopefully we start with offline education, and we're planning to go to the dean and sign up for actual debate club. And there were quite a few of us in the very beginning, just 6 people, so we could actually meet according to COVID recommendations. And we had a moderator, we had special topics that we had to prepare for, and we had kind of a flexible structure. So we could do a presentation, we could just prepare the text, but it was done in a way that we actually practice speaking and talking, and all of the topics that we discussed were connected to what we study, but they were a bit outside of the program. So for example, we had discussions regarding the artificial intelligence in politics, which we do not really cover, but it is a quite interesting one. And then we try to do something more creative. For example, we were given different types of government, for example, monarchy, constitutional monarchy, or democracy. And we were trying to present those kind of governments, for example, as if we were the leaders. And the main point was to convince others that our type of government is the best. So we were supposed to prepare arguments, even if we don't share the opinion of the topic that
Yeah.
we were supposed to present. And it was a very great experience, and hopefully we can run it in an official way, and then more students can join us.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And are there professors involved as well, or it's fully you students who initiated it? And
Yes, it was fully our initiative, but we are planning to involve professors and, of
uh
course, make it more formal.
That's a really that I really like this initiative. And also what came to my mind is that maybe you could also develop it, like, across faculties as well. I'm quite sure that also students from other faculties would join.
Yes, we were also planning to put it on an international level after we make it formal, because I have some students from other universities from other countries. For example, the MGIMO University in Moscow, Russia. I have a student friend who is in the debate club in that university, and he was implying that we can run some kind of international communication between our universities. So this would also lead to international partnership.
Yeah, wow, that's good. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
It's a really good idea. I like it.
Thank you.
uh, One more thing about the your program. You also said that you have some electives and that you took one elective course from the Faculty of Law. So could you please explain what these elective courses are about?
Yes, so we have some compulsory electives which we're supposed to take from our faculty, and not from our, yes, from our faculty. So it can be, for example, Department of Sociology, it can be International Relations Department, but these are we're supposed to fill in the credits for this part, so the compulsory electives. And we also have just 12 credits that we need to fill in for the electives, and these can be taken from any faculty that is available in English. It just has to be, for example, I'm studying a bachelor's degree, it has to be a bachelor class. And there are a lot of Erasmus classes offered in English. So I have taken this faculty, from the Faculty of Law, I took the European Private Law class, and it was actually a good experience because it was a law class, and I'm not really studying law, but it was an opportunity for me to explore more of this domain. And then I also took from the geography department. I took a class this semester. So it has a wide range actually. And I've heard students taking even something connected to psychology. I took also psychology and neuroscience. So there is a chance to study all of the different kinds of classes that you're interested in, besides what we cover by international relations program.
Yeah, the curriculum of most degree programs is quite flexible, as I mentioned probably during my presentation, and really the university offers like thousands of courses per semester in English, only in English, not to mention the Hungarian courses.
Yes.
So it's really worth that now that you are here, then to explore all these options and possibilities, because I think all these can widen your horizon if you also like visit some other faculties as well, and all these the credits of these elective courses, they also count in your
Yes.
studies, right?
Yes.
So it's not like something extra and still you still need to do some more for your degree program, but it's also counted in the program.
Yes, it's counted in.
Yeah, so it's yeah, it's really good. What are your plans, Alisa, after graduation? Now you are at the end of your second year, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you still
Yes,
have
that's
one
true.
more year.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned, our program covered a very wide range of different specters. So we covered law, we covered economics, we covered security studies, human rights. So I have actually experienced studying different kinds of fields of international relations. And by the end of the second year, I can say that I at least know what I can expect from my master's studies and what I can choose. And I'm planning to continue my education, and most likely I will go somewhere in a more specific domain of international relations, something like security studies, because we had a chance to not only listen to the lectures, but also participate in the seminars, and we had a chance to do some researchers. And I think it was a very good chance for all of us, all of the students for international relations, to uh, actually understand what we want to do in our life, and then decide on doing master. So I'm planning to do the master after I finish.
Okay, great. But you still have 2 more semesters.
Yes.
Okay. And finally, do you have any final takeaway messages to everyone who is listening now to us and is about to apply and thinking about starting the studies here at the university?
Yes, I would actually have a takeaway message concerning actually studying here, that besides focusing on your study and paying attention on the courses and the professors, I would highly recommend to get to know as many people as you can. So participate in the events, check ESN ELTE, and take elective classes, because those elective classes mostly have international and Erasmus students. And I personally met a lot of friends by just choosing these classes or attending ESN events, because university is offering a wide range of activities all the time. I would also advise to do sports, because there are a lot of options, and you also get credit for that. So it's not only for yourself, but you also have a credit. And just try to enjoy life here as much as possible, because Budapest is amazing and people here are really, really amazing.
All right. Thank you, Alisa.
Thank you.